Hi, my name is Anish Malpani, and I'm the founder of Ashaya. We're trying to reimagine waste and poverty for good here in India. So there are about 1.5 to 4 million waste pickers in India who live very poor lives. At the same time, 50 to 80% of the waste in India is untreated or ends up in landfills. And that's where we come in, right? So that's a complex problem, and we're a social enterprise that aims to increase the value of waste using deep tech and then fairly redistribute that value to poor stakeholders, think waste pickers. So what are we actually working on? The specific problem we're addressing is around flexible packaging or metallized, multi-layered plastic packaging. So in India, 60% of plastic is recycled. But the 40% that's not recycled mainly comprises of this flexible plastic packaging, think chips packets, wrappers. It's considered impossible to recycle because it contains many types of materials. It's light, low volume material. It's inconsistent. And globally, near 0% of it is recycled. It's honestly the worst kind of plastic waste there is. So what do? We take the MLP, and our first step, we do a chemomechanical extraction that extracts building blocks, raw materials from the MLP. We've just filed for our first patent, and our lawyer is 95% confident we'll get it, so fingers crossed. We then take these building blocks and we chemomechanically upcycle it into high quality materials, which we then use for final product development, where we've not launched our product yet. We hope to at the end of this year. We're very close. We already have prototypes in our hands. We're very excited about that. But yeah, that's what we're working on. Our moat, or at least what we think our moat, is that we're building a tech stack. So first of all, if you would have realized from the earlier slide, we're doing full vertical integration, which means that we're owning the entire supply chain from waste to final product. And this upside down value triangle says that the product is where we extract the most value. And each of these steps, we're working on deep tech. So in the first step, where we extract raw materials from the waste, we use chemomechanical engineering, which is a water-based chemical material extraction process that is pretty deep chemistry. And then once we get the raw materials, we use reactive extrusion, chain extension, compatibilization. I know there's a lot of like buzzwords, but it is deep chemistry that is being used to spruce up these materials to get them to almost virgin-like or better than virgin-like, or at least as good as virgin-like plastic materials. And then even with product, we're focusing on rapid manufacturing using modular injection molding. So we're 3D printing injection molds and 3D printing farms. And so we're building the tech stack out. Our first gateway product are going to be upcycled sunglasses, where the frames will be made from our material, the worst kind of MLP, worst kind of plastic waste. There'll be a QR code that tells a story of how the sunglasses were upcycled. And because we own the entire supply chain, we can tell the story very easily. We want it to be a high quality product. There'll be end of life recycling, where we'll have a return pickup policy. And our unit economics because we own the entire process. At a minimum, we want to have 60% gross margins, and we'll price it accordingly based on demand. But I want to kind of emphasize we're more than just a deep tech startup. We're truly impact first. We really were doing this to solve social and environmental problems. And in the short term, we're paying waste pickers 3 times the price for the waste. We're incorporating them into the process. 10% of all product sales go to helping them. We've diverted 150 kilos of MLP from landfill, which is not much, but we're in R&D right now, so we're just in our R&D lab. But what really we care about are the long-term metrics, right? How many waste pickers can we permanently push out of poverty? How much waste can we divert altogether? And how much carbon can we sequester indirectly? I know there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things we're trying to do, and this is really hard, but that's the point, right? We're not doing this to make money. We're doing this to solve social environmental problems while playing the profit generation game to do that. I'm happy to take questions and deep dive into a lot of things. But I know I haven't gone into like a lot of the stuff that normally is in pitch decks.
Very inspiring overall. One quick reflection that I'm trying to understand. I just reviewed it for 2 minutes. I mean, you are doing a lot of things here. Okay. I mean, right in the starting phase. One startup that I have worked with waste to resource management is that the key area for value creation for that startup is that they're able to find that a lot of vendors, they actually want to source back their own material. And that is how they started generating their first revenue. Okay, so something that, you might want to look at if it's of interest, but I think my main concern is like you're doing a lot of things for a startup to get on the road. I think I can see the challenge.
Yeah, thank you. That's feedback we've gotten before. And that's the risk we're taking, right? And that's the bet we're making. But it's completely fair. I totally understand. The thing is, we've already done 90% of this. So we're only on the last, like I'm in the micro factory here. I can walk you through like all the machines we have. So we've pretty much done it all. We're just at the last step now to launch our product, which will kind of be the capstone. And then we also built it in a way that everything is scalable. So yeah, I totally understand though. Like we're doing so many businesses together. But that's the only way for us to be economically viable at this point. But I totally understand that concern.
One quick feedback, because I mean the products you are going to build, they are going to be very price sensitive also. I mean the people who are living in India, I mean how many of them are actually conscious of buying things which are clean? That is one part. The second part is if you're building products in the category where people are brand conscious, I think the brand recognition becomes even more important in the very early part. Just two things if you would like to keep in mind.
Yeah, 100%. And we're focusing only on the rich right now, the really affluent for starters. And we are going to launch a new brand where this starts over the next 3 months, because we won't sell under Ashaya. Ashaya is an umbrella that stands for something more than just a company. But the brand that we launch will encompass this. But yes, I understand. That's very fair. And also, a manufacturing process is rapid. It's not just about sunglasses. It's rapid lab to market cycles. So because we can 3D print our own injection molds, we can go from lab to market, everything, right? From design to actual manufacturing very quickly, depending on the type of product it is, right? And that's what we're trying to build. And I mean, there's a lot going on. And 3 minutes is not a lot of time. So I'm happy to get deeper into what our scaling model will be and how we're trying to think about this. And we're not doing it in a conventional fashion where we're just building one big factory for recycling, one type of material, which is what majority of people do.